have you all here to finally have the campus hear what you have to say despite what Sodexo and the administration's claims are. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Laura Withers. She's going to kind of wrap it up for us and talk about how that ties into the work that we've been doing as an organization.
Thank you, Andrea. Hi, everybody. My name is Laura Withers. I'm a sophomore in the college, and it's my pleasure and my honor to be here today and to close things out for you. I've been a member of SWS for about somewhere between 6 and 9 months, and I've kind of watched as the organization has matured and grown and our demands have changed and been honed. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're asking from the university, and hopefully now that you've heard some of these stories, you'll have the same perspective on these demands that we do and that the administration doesn't. I'm going to start small and go bigger. We want the contract between Emory University and Sodexo made available to the Emory community. And that is basically pure and simple about having awareness and knowledge among the Emory community as to what that contract entails. You pay money to Sodexo. You have a right to know where that money is going and what the relationship is between Emory University and Sodexo and what that relationship entails. And that is a basic demand that we have not been able to get, and I think that everybody on this campus has a right to know what that relationship is all about. Second, we want an audit of Sodexo. If you were here when we started, Roger was talking about the fact that Sodexo has recently settled with New York State for $20 million for basically ripping off the public school system that it's serving. I'm going to just quote real quick from a letter we sent to Wagner. Attorney General Cuomo, that's the Attorney General of New York, found that Sodexo cut sweetheart deals with suppliers and then denied taxpayer-supported schools the benefits in violation of the contracts as well as state and federal laws. The investigation revealed that it is common practice nationally for Sodexo to seek out supplier discounts like these called rebates rather than finding the best deal for its clients. This often translates into inflated meal plan costs for students, and when Sodexo fails to properly record and return the rebates, can mean violations of its contracts with certain institutions. So again, this goes back to making that contract public between Emory and Sodexo so that when this audit is conducted, we know if it's in violation of that contract. And one of the main issues I hear from students when I talk to students about this issue is it's going to raise our tuition, isn't it? Well, if we get an audit and we find these abuses occurring with Sodexo on this campus, you might even save some money. So it's about saving the university money. It's about stopping Sodexo from from carrying out policies that are against its contract and that are illegal. And then finally, the main demand that we have is that Emory implement a labor code of conduct to respect basic worker rights. And that is basically, in a nutshell, all of the things that you heard today from William and from Crystal and from Ms. Clara. And it is things like a living wage, a basic living wage, the ability to provide for yourself and your family. That's just a right that everybody should have. Affordable health insurance. Again, Crystal said she doesn't have it. Ms. Clara said she can't afford it. And that is just unacceptable. We are at a private institution with one of the best healthcare systems in the country, and we can't provide basic health insurance to the people who work on that campus. That's just unacceptable. Access to transportation. You've already heard that Sodexo workers make very little, and what they make goes into either purchasing MARTA cards or paying for their own parking on campus, and they can't afford that. Emory workers get subsidized MARTA cards, and they make significantly more than Sodexo workers make. Again, just a basic demand. The fact that Sodexo workers make so little and then even more of that is cut out just to get to work every day is unacceptable. We want the workers to have a freedom to form a union. Again, the workers have a right to speak out, to object to things that are being forced upon them by that we think Sodexo employees have a right to, and that legally they do. And Emory just shouldn't stand for Sodexo to stop that. We want a commission on the status of class or labor at Emory University. We want the workers and those that work for Sodexo to have a place where they can go to object to the treatment that they receive, and some way for Emory to oversee what happens with their subcontracted organizations, and some way for Emory to be informed about these issues, since apparently they're not. And then finally, we also want to ensure that if these demands lead to having to fire Sodexo, that the workers don't suffer, and that Emory demands that whoever comes in to fill that position with Sodexo rehires the workers that came before, because it's not their fault. And we don't want these workers to be punished because of our efforts to reform, or if it leads to it, get rid of Sodexo. So, in conclusion, we have three very simple demands. We want to make the contract between Emory University and Sodexo available in the Emory community. That might mean an email from the administration. It's not that hard. We want them to conduct an audit. Emory is a little tight-fisted, in case you haven't noticed. I bet that if they looked into it, they would find that this is to their advantage as well as to the students and the workers' advantage. And it's just completely unreasonable for Emory to refuse that demand. And then finally, we want a labor code of conduct to respect basic workers' rights. We're an institution that's all about ethics. It's about sustainability, which, by the way, isn't just about recycling. It's about social justice. You look it up on Emory's website, it says it plain and clear, under sustainability. These are things that Emory touts. These are things that Emory advertises to the new freshmen, to the people that give it money. And it's time for all of us to get together, because we do have a voice, and to say we're not going to be lied to, and we're not going to be deceived about what's happening. And Emory University has a basic responsibility to the people that work on its campus, and we want to see that they uphold their end of the bargain. Thank you for your time.
Woo!
Oh, we have cute little buttons here. You may have seen us wearing the big ones, but we have little ones too. I think they're really cute. So if you want one, please take it and throw it around.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Oh.